Just below the North Pole, the frozen sea is ruled by Russia's nuclear icebreakers. Unrivaled in its power and endurance, this fleet is the only one of its kind in the world. This hulking beast is the Arctica. Built in 1975, she's the oldest and most revered ship in the nuclear fleet. On August 17, 1977, she became the first surface ship to crush a path to the North Pole. A feat not repeated for over a decade. But the Soviets didn't build these ships to break records. Their charge is to keep the shipping lanes open in the frozen Barents Sea, the only way to deliver Siberia's wealth of natural resources. This is the final step in an industrial journey that begins in Norilsk, a major supplier of the world's nickel and platinum group metals. It's very likely that many of the objects you'll use in the next 24 hours were manufactured with metal from Norilsk's mines. But before they reach you, they must first reach the Russian port of Murmansk, 1,200 miles across this treacherous sea route known as the Northeast Passage. Waters that are nearly impassable. It's just after midnight. By the light of the night sun, the icebreaker Taymyr pulls this cargo ship through the ice. It's all quiet on the bridge. But then, a distress call breaks the silence.
Они там далеко? Они далеко? Ты мне за бураном смотри, о чем я?
The call is from another cargo ship, the Kapitan Man. She'd been following a few miles behind in the Taymyr's path, but the sub-zero nighttime temperatures froze her in. The helmsman, Ruslan Ivanich, has the night shift on the bridge, and it's up to him to engineer the rescue. First, the Taymyr has to disconnect from the Yari Arshkenevsky, and the crew has to work fast.
Мы сейчас подтянем его, а потом посмотрим, если что, проводнику.
The Yari Arshkenevsky could get frozen in once the Taymyr leaves for the rescue. If the Taymyr doesn't return before that happens, Ruslan will have 2 ships to rescue instead of 1. So the moment the Taymyr is free, Ruslan goes ahead, full throttle.
Подходим к вам, пожалуйста, людей на бак вызывайте. Право на борт.
Станция 20 метров. Станция 10 идем хорошо. Дистанция 5. Дистанция 3. Дистанция метр.
Добро.
Касание.
The ships quickly cable up.
Начали заводить буксир. 60%.
Ruslan has conducted a flawless rescue. It turns out he even had an audience.
Бурон едет.
Even this far north, there are a handful of indigenous communities.
Как это называется? Что-то Воронцов. Воронцов?
Locals from a small coastal village have been known to fish in the icebreaker's freshly cut path. But icebreakers can provide a lot more than just fishing holes. They can literally become floating power stations for these isolated towns, channeling power from their nuclear reactors to onshore installations. Back in Norilsk, this Soviet Mi-8 helicopter has just fired up her engines. two technicians have to make an unplanned visit to the Taimyr for reasons they won't disclose. No helmets, no seat belts, or even seats. This no-frills chopper is little more than a flying gas can. But when icebreakers go for months without returning to port, this is the only way to get on or off. Up here, helicopters also perform ice reconnaissance, helping icebreakers navigate the safest route through the ice. Choosing the right path is essential, because the cargo ships are so vulnerable. One wrong move could leave a ship looking like this, hull crushed and sunk in the ice. After a 2-hour flight, the convoy comes into view. But this 10-ton chopper is too big to set down on the icebreaker's deck. It'll have to land on the frozen river. The engineers have to move fast, because the pilot won't risk sitting here long. In just minutes, they're safely on board. The convoy of ships powers ahead, and Murmansk is now just a few hundred miles away. But there's no rest for this crew. The bridge of the Taimyr gets another distress call, this time from the Arctica, the oldest icebreaker in the Russian fleet.